first story is about a doll that was never supposed to move. It belonged to a little girl who refused to touch it, no matter how many times her parents asked why. It sat on the highest shelf in her bedroom, untouched for years, collecting dust. Every night, the parents made sure it was facing the wall before turning off the lights. Every morning, it faced the bed. At first, they assumed the girl was moving it in her sleep. Then one night, she woke up unable to move. Her eyes were open. Her chest felt heavy. She couldn't scream. The doll was no longer on the shelf. It sat on the floor beside her bed, close enough that she could see the cracks spidering through its porcelain face. Its eyes weren't glass anymore. They were wet, reflecting her frozen fear. She felt its presence lying closer. When the paralysis finally broke, the doll was back on the shelf. Facing her, its smile stretched wider than before. The girl never slept in that room again. The doll still faces the bed. The second story begins with a doll found buried behind an old house, scheduled for renovation. The new owners uncovered it while digging a garden bed. It was wrapped in rotting fabric, its porcelain face perfectly preserved, untouched by time. They joked that someone must have buried it after a child lost it decades ago. That night the house felt colder, like the heat had been drained from the walls. Their dog refused to enter the laundry room, barking non-stop at the dark doorway. After midnight, the barking stopped. Slow footsteps echoed through the hallway, soft and wet, like bare feet on tile. In the morning, muddy handprints climbed the wall leading up to the ceiling. Small, child-sized. The dog was gone. The back door stood open. The doll sat beneath the prints, spotless. Dry, placed neatly against the wall as if someone wanted it seen. The third story is about a collector who specialized in antique dolls. They bought one from a private seller who insisted on meeting late at night. Before leaving, the seller said one thing. "Don't keep it near where you sleep." The collector laughed it off. The first night, they dreamed of standing in a dark room while something watched from behind. The second night, they woke to whispering that stopped the moment their eyes opened. The third night, they woke up sitting upright, holding the doll tightly against their chest. Its hair was warm. Its body felt heavier than porcelain should. When the collector checked their bedroom camera footage, they watched themselves get out of bed at 3:17 a.m., walk slowly to the shelf, lift the doll carefully, and whisper, "You can stay." The timestamp never changed. The footage looped. The fourth story takes place in a daycare that shut down after a sudden closure. A night security guard noticed something strange on the cameras. Every night at exactly 12 o'clock a.m., the toy room feed glitched. When it stabilized, one doll was always facing the camera. A different doll each night. The guard started watching live. At 12:30, every doll's head turned at once. The sound cut out. The feed went black. The guard radioed for help but received only static. When police searched the building the next morning, the shelves were empty. No dolls, no toys, just tiny footprints pressed into the dust, leading toward the exit. The guard never came back for his final paycheck. His radio was found under the toy shelf, still crackling softly. The fifth story is about a doll designed to record and repeat voices. It was marketed as harmless, interactive. The owner kept it on a shelf in their living room. One night after midnight, it activated on its own. It spoke using the owner's voice, crying, whispering their name, begging someone to stop. The owner unplugged it and locked it in a closet. Minutes later, it spoke again, louder. When the owner checked the recording history, the audio was time-stamped for 1 hour in the future. At exactly that time, the doll turned its head for the first time. The recording ended with slow breathing. Close, too close to the microphone. Dolls don't blink. They don't sleep. And they never forget where you put them. So if one ever seems closer than it was before, don't touch it. Because if it wanted your attention, it already has it. That's it for these After Midnight Files.